Hey guys, it's Lisa. Welcome to Banning, Panning and Beyond and the September Pan That Sign collab that I'm doing with Andrea from Pretty as a Peacock. So for September we have the Virgo palette, and I will try to pop up a photo or like a picture of the color story that was chosen for this month. And this is an Instagram panning project. However, it's not really about panning. It's simply about getting use out of the neglected singles in your collection. So Andrea talked me into joining in with her in this project, and we decided that we would do a once a month collab, and the palettes that we build to match the color story that we're given, we are only using singles that are common to both our collections. So it does narrow down our choices, but that's part of the challenge. And our palettes might not match the color story exactly, but that's not the point of the project. It's the color scheme is purely just to give you inspiration. So I have to admit, I wasn't keen on this month's color story initially, which surprised Andrea. But since we've been choosing out our singles, I've realized what an autumnal sort of color scheme it is, and it has actually grown on me. Now, I am filming this earlier in the month than I normally do, so this will be the first time I've actually used the palette. So if I really want to get this edited and uploaded and scheduled, just because I'm not getting a lot of time because of work. So I just want to get this done. So at the end of the day, if I end up using this palette again throughout the month, I will make sure that I upload the photos to my Instagram, but they won't be at the end of this video. So the link to my Instagram account, if you're not already following me, will be in the description box, as will the link to Andrea's video. So I'm going to get into swatching the shades. So these are the singles. I'm actually going to just pop these two out. So every month Andrea and I try to do something a little bit different, just to keep it exciting, I guess. So that is the palette that we built. So some of the this single and this single, I think, are both duochromes. So I'll swatch them. The first one, which, oh my goodness, I struggled to find this in my collection. Normally I try to keep my singles together by brand, but sometimes my singles outgrow their palettes and they end up in other palettes. And this one, I just had a rough time in general trying to find quite a few of these singles. So this one is by Looksy Beauty, and it is, oops, nearly dropped it, and it's already on my thumb. Lucky I have a face wipe handy. So yeah, Money Bags by Looksy. So it's sort of a green to gold. So let's swatch that one. So definitely looking green to me. So hopefully you can see the fact that now I can't bend that finger without my pinky going down. Anyway, so let's just swatch Money Bags. And that is such a beautiful color for autumn. Now, funnily, for my Northern Hemisphere subscribers, you'd be all going into autumn, I believe, whereas for me, I've just come out of winter into spring, but it is still, we had a couple of beautiful, beautiful days, warm days, and yeah, it was a bit of a tease because now it's gone back to being cold. So the next single is a Colourpop one. I think this has made an appearance a few times. So that's Stay Golden. So let's swatch this one. That's that there. The next one is also a Colourpop one. Another one that drove me nuts trying to find it. Paper Tiger. So that's that there. And the last one is a Davina single, and it's called Celesta. So that's it there, looking very, very bright. So it's kind of like I guess you could say a chartreuse sort of color. There we go. So they are the four singles that we chose. Then we decided that we would add in one deepening shade and one highlighting shade. So the deepening shade we got was called Cloud 9, another Colourpop single. And the challenge that we've got for this month is to use all the shades in the palette, plus we have some Super Shocks which we decided to add in every month and try and get some use out of those, because they're definite part of the our collections that are neglected. So the highlighting shade we have is Meteorite by Terra Moon Cosmetics. So I'll swatch that one for you as well, and then I will quickly swatch the Super Shocks. Now I haven't decided which one I'm going to use. We only have to use one. We can use more if we want to, but yeah, so that's the color story that we have for this month. So the Super Shocks, again, we don't have a lot in common, so it wasn't easy to choose, but the first one we've got is called Empire. So I wonder if we can, so that's the shade there. So I'll try and swatch them above the matching shades from the pans. The next one is called Muse. It's more of a pink rather than a red, but it's kind of a coppery pink, so that's it there. Then we have, it's called Millionaire. That's it. So that's that one. So you can see they are different than the pans, but we did the best we could. And this one has definitely, we've used before. It's such a gorgeous shade. It's called Telepathy. So probably not the most awkward. Oh, they're a pretty good match there. So that's that one. All right, so I'm just gonna just wing it, I guess, and I'll speed through the footage like usual so that the video doesn't go on too long, and yeah, let's see what sort of look we can create. So let's get into it. Okay, so here is the finished look. So let's just run through what I used where, because I was kind of jumping all over the place. So to begin with, the base color, I guess you can say, was the Paper Tiger from Colourpop. Then into the crease, I went in with Stay Golden, and then I went in to Cloud 9 for deepening out the crease and the outer corner. Then I ended up going in with Stay Golden on the outer part of the mobile lid, which of course we'll get into in a sec. Then the money bags I put on the center of the mobile lid. We have Meteorite as my inner corner and taken down onto the lower lash line. Then this shade here, what was it called again? Celesta. So that was, I took that sort of on that inner part of the mobile lid up to meet up with money bags. So they blended in quite nicely. I can't quite get a smooth transition between money bags and Stay Golden, but it doesn't look too bad. Now, lower lash line, Cloud 9 on the outer part. Then I ended up going with Stay Golden, then Paper Tiger. But of course, then I ended up bringing this down a little bit lower out of the inner corner. Complete and utter failure with the Super Shock Shadow Millionaire. It just wasn't picking up on the brush real well. Tried to get it on the lower lash line and to highlight my brow, but it just didn't work. So I believe that would be best applied with a finger, maybe as a mobile lid shade. So I ended up trying to use Telepathy along the lower lash line, which kind of just, it's washed out the Stay Golden that was underneath it. So I used that, and then I ended up going in with Empire as a liner. I'm not too sure with the lighting whether or not you're going to be able to see it. So the only shade that I didn't use was Muse. So I'm thinking that, I may as well. So I'm going to grab my blush brush and just maybe tap that on as a bit of a blush color, just for the sake of saying that I used all the shades. I'm not even sure if my blush brush is going to pick this up, so I'm not sure. Just trying to see whether or not any color will go onto the back of my hand. So it is very subtle, so let's see, because I already have blush on. So I'm not too sure if you can even really notice the difference, to be honest. So anyway, I think that this color scheme is very Christmassy, so I actually don't mind it. But what I am going to do is jump off camera and do my lashes. I actually remembered to do my brow highlight for once, and put my lippy on. I've already got the color picked out. So yeah, I mean, I have to say this morning has been a real test for me. I woke up with quite a bad headache, and I ended up going back to bed, which is very, very unusual for me. I've had to take 2 lots of paracetamol, and when I was doing my base makeup, I forgot my face primer, and then I forgot my setting powder. So yeah, the fact that I've remembered to do my brow highlight is just awesome. So so with that said, I will be back in just a sec with the finished look. Okay, so here is the finished look. Now, when I jumped off camera, I wasn't overly happy with the crease. I felt it was a little bit too pale to for the intensity of the lid shade. So I did go in and deepen those up with the brown and the red. So, and then I've just popped on my mascara and my lippy. So let my hair down, and yeah, and there we have it. So the lip color I ended up going in with was the new Mellow Cosmetics. It's their matte liquid lip paint, and the shade is called New York. Now the liner is by Zoeva, and I think it's A78. It doesn't have a shade name. So yeah, I thought something a little bit more on the wine side, not my usual red. The color is changing slightly because of the ring light, but you get the gist of it. So I'm really happy with how the look turned out. Like I said, I think it is very autumnal. You could easily get away with this, I believe, for Christmas, as well, with the greens and the reds and just the more chartreuse sort of colors. Yeah, so really, like, you know, I mean, I ended up using all the Super Shocks, if you include the fact that I used Muse on my cheeks on as a blush topper. So we'll see what Andrea comes up with, because she may use all 4 Super Shocks, she may use one. So we have to see. She always creates just the most beautiful looks. So I recommend you go over and check out her channel. Like I said, the link to her collab video will be in the description box. And yeah, I've already had a sneak peek at, well, more than a sneak peek, I should say, at Libra's color story, because Andrew and I have already built that palette ready for next month, which is not something we ordinarily do, but I do have an extra collab coming up with Andrea next month, because it's both our birthday months. So hers is on the 1st of October and mine is on the 13th. So we have something special to be doing, and I'm not sure what date we're going to be posting at this stage. It'll be somewhere probably in between our birthdays. So if you're not already subscribed to Andrea, please go out and check out her channel, show her some love. She is a very dear friend of mine, and I think that once you go over there, you will really enjoy her content. She is very much a panner. She is an eyeshadow lover like me. We have completely different taste in eyeshadow, so it's amazing we have any singles in common. She is much more into the purples, greens, blues, teals, whereas I'm more into the warm colors, as you may have worked out by now: reds, oranges, yellows, that sort of thing. So let me know what you think of the look. I wasn't pleased with it until I fixed up the crease, so now I am happy with it. So yeah, so thanks everyone for joining me, and I'll look forward to reading your comments, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.